Hello. Welcome to the second episode of whatever this is I'm doing. If you missed last week's episode, I read Genesis chapter 1 and translated it. So you missed a lot of exciting stuff. And now we're on to chapter 2. Just to let you know, I did actually do a little bit of math. I crunched some numbers. There are 1,189 chapters in the Bible in all. So if I do one a week, as I'm doing now, I should finish up the Bible in just under 23 years. So enjoy this while I still got it. Alright, we're going to jump right in here. Genesis chapter 2. Here we go. Where did we leave off? It was like the 6th day, I think. He was doing all the 6th day stuff. Okay, thus the heavens and the earth were... That was a weird break, I feel like, after the first... It was like building suspense, so it's like a cliffhanger ending. Get your interest right off the bat. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them, that's just all of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his... Does anybody know who wrote this, by the way? I didn't see... There wasn't a byline. It just says Bible. If anybody knows, send me an email. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made. Okay, all the space and earth. And he rested on the 7th day, as would anyone, from all his work which he had made. Okay, so time for vacation, probably going on a cruise. And God blessed the 7th day. I don't know how you go about that exactly. It's a day. It's not like you can't like splash water on a day or do the cross thing on a day, but he probably just said something to himself. And he sanctified it. Because that in it, it's, again, they don't know how to write, these people. Because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. That seems a little circular. We'll just move past it. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God, Lord all caps. So this is important. Make note of that. He's not just a God. Anybody could be a God. He's the Lord God. He's like the head God of all gods, of which there are apparently only one. But that's his title, and he's earned it. So... In the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God, again all caps, had not caused it to rain upon the earth. I don't know what they're saying right here. And there was not a man... Oh, okay. So, and there was not a man to till the ground. So... See now... They're going into him creating man, but didn't they already do that? I feel like in the first chapter. Maybe not. Maybe he was just building like a prototype, and this is the real thing. But anyway, so Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground, so need to correct that situation. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. It's like morning dew, I guess. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. So there was some dust on the ground. Man collected it into the shape of a person and breathed into his nostrils. So God knew CPR. The breath of life, and man became a living soul. So we were dust at one point, and that's the ashes to ashes, dust to dust sort of thing. I'll bet there's a connection. Because we start out as dust, and then after we get cremated, we're dust again. So, and the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. Okay. And there I feel like I know more about the Bible than I realized, because I've heard of Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed. So, plunked him down there in Eden. And man came first, don't forget. And out of the ground... made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, pretty trees, and good for food, lemons, apples, oranges, that sort of thing. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So it's like a forest in there. There's all kinds of trees, and some of them mean something. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. And this is where it gets confusing. The river, I guess, has 4 heads. Probably an early prototype of a river, too, because any of the rivers I've seen, it's pretty much just water. With 4 heads, the name of the first is Pison, I think. Wish there was a pronunciation key, that would have been smart. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, which is a Jewish thing, I think, where there is gold. Okay, so the first head of the river means gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium, the B might be silent, bdellium, and the onyx stone. This is going to be tough. I don't know what the hell they're talking about right now. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Okay, so this is, now we have a rough geographical reference where this is taking place, in Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria, which must be near Ethiopia. And the fourth river is Euphrates. I just kind of threw that in there. Euphrates didn't really get a lot of love. But anyway, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it. I don't know why you'd put a dress on a garden, but I guess if a river's got 4 heads, anything's possible, right? To dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden, I'm not doing the voice, but of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. If it were me, I'd probably be tempted to try it, since I've been told not to. I'm like a rebel like that. But for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Okay, I take it back. I probably would take his word for it then. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help. And help meet for him. Definitely the website. I can't imagine that anyone who ever knew anything about anything would have phrased that sentence like that. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, which I thought we already had cattle, but he formed them again, I guess. And every fowl of the air, already had birds. And he didn't keep very good notes, apparently, God. Or he would have noticed, oop, already did cattle and birds. I mean, I know he's got a lot to keep track of, but yeah. And brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. So he lets Adam take part in this. He's kind of passing the torch. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. So God has nothing. If you wanted to look at a duck and call it Tululabel, we got a bunch of Tululabels running around. Nothing God can do about it. And Adam gave names to all the cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found an help meet for him. See, now they said the exact same thing again, which makes me think maybe this actually is in the Bible. Rough. Obviously, they're talking about, Eve. Not to spoil anything for you, but I think you knew that's where we were going. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. Duh. And he took one of his ribs. That's why I would not fall asleep with God around. He's just not trustworthy. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. So, he's God. He probably found a painless way of doing it. But still, opened him up, took his rib, closed it back up. I just hurt thinking about this. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman out of the rib. Okay, this is also where the term boner comes from. And brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, okay, because she was taken out of man. Can't have woman without man. Just another way of saying can't let a good man down without a woman, as the phrase goes. Therefore shall a man leave... It almost sounded like it said salamander. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife. That's violent. And they shall be one flesh. So, so he's saying that henceforth, they won't be using dust anymore. They're going to have a guy and a girl, and they'll do it, and then I guess that's the cleaving. And then they'll be one flesh. So he's either talking about marriage or like a little flesh baby. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get there. And they were both naked, of course, because that's what sells copies. The man and his wife, and were not ashamed, exhibitionists. So the very first people, exhibitionists. If you're one, don't feel bad about it. Adam and Eve were too. That's actually the end of the second chapter, so a much shorter chapter than the first one, but no less exciting or informative. So that's chapter 2. I'll be back next week with chapter 3. Hold on to the seat of your pants, and buckle up, because we're going to be going for a ride.